Sudden tension at the sit-in outside the Sudanese Defense Ministry. Demonstrators worried about an imminent attempt by the army to remove the barricades and disperse the protest. Earlier, the army had announced it had agreed with the protest leaders to clear the roadblocks and allow traffic to resume on several roads near the sit-in. But the opposition denied that such an agreement had been reached. It came shortly after a third round of talks that concluded on Monday. The two sides agreed on writing a constitutional declaration that will organize the work of 3 transitional government structures: a joint civilian-military sovereign council, a cabinet of technocrats, and a transitional parliament. But all the details are still being discussed, including the number of seats in the sovereign council, how many members from each side, and how long the transition should last before a general election can be held.
We're very close to reaching an overall solution that will make everybody happy and will allow us to get the country out of this crisis. We're still in negotiations to define powers and specialized roles so they can act as a base for us to define the different levels of representation in the government.
The proposal will be submitted within the next 24 hours, which will identify the power and relation between the transitional bodies and the different transitional institutions. Our sit-in will continue till our goals of the revolution for a civil transitional authority with all its executive powers is executed. Nothing will discourage us. Our peaceful resistance will continue.
More than 2 weeks since the fall of the regime of Omar al-Bashir, the crowd at the sit-in in front of the army headquarters only grew larger. They are demanding a speedy and full transfer of power to a civilian government. The sit-in has turned into an open exposition ground for labor unions, social movements, cultural groups, professional and artistic associations. Young painters are at work on a colossal mural that's intended to gain a place on Guinness Book of Records.
We wanted to create a list of 1 million signatures of protesters. Then we decided to decorate it with paintings that represent and celebrate the revolution. It will be 3,000 meters long and will go around the army headquarters, as that's the space occupied by the sit-in.
The dedication with which these artists work is matched only by the unabated vigor of this crowd that's been braving the summer heat for weeks, refusing to go home until real change is achieved. Mohamed Vall, Al Jazeera, Khartoum.